I still love California. I still have hope. That's the part that's just heartbreaking.
We're just keeping the rich in and kicking the poor out.
50% of your family income goes to rent.
Yes.
We had to work 2 jobs so we can pay the bills, we can pay the rent.
This place was affordable for quite some time, but when those restrictions ended, the owners were able to bring it up back to market rate. How do you feel about that?
God, I feel kind of irritated, actually. I don't even have a washer and dryer.
It's not fair. I don't think so. It's not fair. Because they use our taxes because we work for the people working really hard. I don't think so. It's really fair.
Subsidy doesn't last forever, and so the affordability commitment also doesn't last forever.
Billions of taxpayer dollars were set aside to make sure apartments like these were affordable, specifically for low-income renters. And yet all of the people we spoke to here are paying market rate.
Oh, don't cry, baby.
Sometimes when we fall, we need help back up.
It's a hard thing.
That's the situation Yolanda Harris-Strong has found herself in after losing her income as a beautician
I have a facial brush that I use.
and her San Jose apartment during the pandemic.
COVID crushed all that. Next week, I have to remove all of my household belongings from the unit that I've occupied in San Jose.
It was during a blistering heat wave. California was burning. COVID was raging. Yolanda, a disabled veteran and sole guardian of 2 granddaughters, searched high and low for low-income housing, but could only find this Monterey motel room.
I was even told in Santa Cruz by a man, I'll support you as a veteran. I'll even give you $50, but I'll never take Section 8 housing. I suffer from depression. I'm severely depressed by all of this. I actually stood outside with a sign once and a billboard like homeless people and stood out there with a sign and said, please rent to a vet. I have a housing choice voucher to give you now, guaranteed rent. You'll never miss a payment.
Did you get housing after you did that?
No.
Yolanda qualifies for affordable housing, but she can't find a place because a lot of the housing that would be in her budget just doesn't exist anymore. We found out why by taking a quick look back. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, worked out a wave of deals with private landlords to build apartments. In exchange, those landlords had to keep the units affordable for 20, 30 years. It sounded great, until fast forward 20, 30 years. By then, the landlords were suddenly no longer bound by their contracts to keep rents low, so many of them opted out and jacked up prices.
So we lost thousands of homes.
Matt Schwartz is the president of California Housing Partnership. His nonprofit has tracked 18,000 affordable homes in California that lost those protections. He says 30,000 more are at risk in the next decade.
We can't keep doing the same thing over and over again.
In all, nearly 500,000 affordable units are scheduled to expire.
We have to look for ways to get longer-term permanent affordability.
All right, let's go. We wanted to see some of these properties,
So which one do you want to hit up first?
meet the people living in them,
Single mom.
Oh, I was working for McDonald's for 18 years.
and find out what they're paying now.
But the rent, yeah, is really high right now. Well, the apartment we have right now, we pay $2,165.
It's almost $3,000.
And this place was affordable for quite some time, but when those restrictions ended, the owners were able to bring it up back to market rate. How do you feel about that?
God, I feel kind of irritated, actually. I don't even have a washer and dryer. I love Lucy. She has a washer and dryer.
It's not fair. I don't think so. It's not fair. Because they use our taxes because we work for the people working really hard.
Connecting from Washington, D.C.,
Hi, this is Ethan. Can you hear me yet?
from U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Headquarters, or HUD, Deputy Assistant Secretary Ethan Handelman spoke with us about all the affordable housing guarantees that are suddenly expiring. He oversees subsidized affordable apartments nationwide.
We kind of learned our lessons a little bit and learned that setting those hard cliffs probably isn't a great way to set up these properties.
Hanneman says in the 90s, HUD and Congress passed reforms extending contracts and incentivizing landlords to stay affordable, which includes the 1997 Mark-to-Market program, which helped reduce rents to at least market levels. Should HUD have seen this coming and made sure that those affordability protections didn't end so soon?
We do see these issues coming regularly. We do have systems in place to try and craft those preservation solutions over time. That's why we have things like the markup to market process, why we have other preservation resources.
Resources that didn't come in time for Yolanda. For the past year, our team has tried, but hasn't been able to contact her. She was in limbo last we knew, saying if it were just her, she'd be homeless.
As a woman and as a veteran, then as a mother, then a grandmother, I'm doing this fight for them.
So is that why housing is so overpriced, leaving Californians overwhelmed and over it? The answer is it's all those reasons and so many more. It's a flood of high-paying jobs, it's supply not keeping up with demand, it's real estate investors driving up prices, it's conflicting government policies, it's housing being viewed as a commodity and not homes where real people and real families live. Our team is still digging. We are looking locally and globally to see how other places and people are solving their housing problems. And we want to hear from you. How are you surviving? What housing issues should we investigate next? So we can keep talking and moving towards climbing out of California's housing crisis.